right, we're ready to begin our play. The name of our play is called Caps for Sale. Once upon a time, there were 5 peddlers, but they weren't like ordinary peddlers. These peddlers carried their wares on top of their head. First there was Kira with her own special cap and her green caps on top. Then there was Mia with her own special hat and her blue caps on top. And then there was Addie with her own special cap and her yellow caps on top. And then there was a deer with her own special hat and her red caps on top. And then there was Lex with his own special hat and his polka dot caps on top. They would walk up the street calling,
"Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
They would walk down the street calling,
"Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap.
Well, one day they couldn't sell any caps, and they were very hungry, but they didn't have any money to buy anything to eat since they didn't sell any caps. And they thought, well, maybe we'll go for a walk in the country. So they went out into the country calling,
"Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
They'll buy their cat.
They walked out into the country until they found 2 nice trees to lean up against to take a nap. So they sat down little by little against the tree trunk. Lex, remember we're supposed to go? Lex? Kira? They leaned back little by little against the tree trunk and decided to take a nap. But before going to sleep, they checked their caps to make sure they were on nice and tall and straight. And once they saw they were all there, they went to sleep. And they slept for a long time. After they slept for a long time, they woke up and they stretched. They were refreshed and rested. But before standing up, they felt their caps to make sure they were on straight and tall. But all they felt was their own special caps. So they stood up and they looked in front of them. No caps. They looked to the left of them. No caps. They looked to the right of them. No caps. They looked behind them. No caps. And they looked up in the tree, and what do you think they saw? On every branch was a monkey. And on every monkey there was either a red, a blue, a yellow, a green, or a polka dot cap. The peddlers looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddlers. The peddlers didn't know what to do. Finally, they shook their finger and said to them, well, the monkeys only shook their finger back at them and said, well, with this, the peddlers shook both their hands and said, but with this, the monkeys just shook both their hands and said, well, now the peddlers are getting angry, so they stomped their foot and said, but the monkeys only stomped their foot and said, well, now the peddlers are really they stomped both feet and said,
You, monkey, you! You give me back my cat!
well, with this, the monkey stomped both their feet and said, now the brothers were so angry they threw off their hats and onto the ground and began to walk away. But when they did this, all the blue hats, all the yellow hats, all the green hats, all the red hats, and all the polka dot caps came flying out of the tree. So the peddlers came back, picked up their own special cap, and then put their caps they were sewing on top of their head. So Mia put on her special cap and her blue caps. Lex put on his special caps and his polka dot caps. Adira put on her special caps and her red ones. And Addie put on her special cap and her yellow ones. And Kira put on her special cap and the green caps. And they walked back into town calling,
Cats! Cats for sale! 50 cents a cat!
Going back to the country.
Come on!
And that is the end of our story. Can you guys come over and take a bow and a curtsy? Come over here. Whatever you want to do. And normally each year I end in the play, but they want to do Monkey Mambo, which is another movement song, which we're going to do. We thought it was appropriate with our